It's great to have everybody here, and it's all kicking off, right? The big, beautiful bill looks like it's going through. We've got crypto going to all-time highs. We've got the Fed that's going to cut rates, they're saying in October, and we have a new Treasury Secretary coming in at the latest of May next year, maybe even earlier. Even Scott Bessent, the current Treasury Secretary, might become the new Fed chair. And if he does, he's going to drop rates by 400 basis points. And the party is on, folks. So if you own anything in crypto, then you're going to know that that's where you want to be. And holding anything but dollars is what you want to do right now. Keeping your money in a savings account or in any fiat currency is probably the stupidest thing you can do. On top of that, we've got the Genius bill about to pass the US Congress, which is the stablecoin legislation. And one of the companies that we invested in, called Circle, just had their debut on the New York Stock Exchange, and it was up 10x at one point. We're part of a $1 billion fund, and that fund manager named Dan Tapiero was an early investor in Circle, and he's celebrating. Matter of fact, Dan, I think, has already had 4 or 5 public sales of his stocks that he owns or outright acquisitions. And the fund that Martini and I bought in on, we also took advantage of him selling a company called Deribit into Coinbase. And the crazy thing is, Martini, is we got Coinbase shares. I think those shares have doubled since that sale. They're closing the deal out. I think they still have to close it out, but I think they're sending us money, I think, in the next month or something. I don't know. They got to close the deal, though, because they've agreed to deal terms. So we're making a lot of money behind the scenes. I want to show you how we're going to do that, folks. Please hit me up on the chat with any questions, and keep your camera on, Shay and Ash. I got a bad habit of throwing people out of this room if they don't see their videos. I like to see faces. All right. I'm also going to show you 2 deals we're working on. Martini, I just set one of these deals live in the Telegram chat. I don't know if you saw it. It's called One Football. These people have 200 million users that gossip about football all day long. All right. Bless them. And they're about to launch a token with Animoca Brands. And because of our relationship with Animoca, we're getting in on that token. And we're going to give early access to all of the members of our investment club. This deal's hot. It's going to be sold out, I think, in the next few days. And it's just one of many, many deals that we're doing in this market. So look, let's jump into it. This presentation is hot off the presses. Again, hit me up with any questions in the chat, and we're going to get into it. Let me just make sure that everything is teed up here, and making sure that I'm all ready for you guys. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me just share this screen. Like I said, it's hot off the presses. I pretty much create my presentations the day of, because so much stuff changes and moves. All right. So thumbs up if everybody can see these 2 handsome gentlemen here. You seeing that? You with me, Carson? Yeah, Emil? Okay, good. So this is the big news. Trillions and trillions is what's coming into the market, and Bitcoin is set for this massive July surge. And there's 2 things going on. The Fed is going to be cutting rates, and Trump is going all in on crypto legislation. He's also trying to find a way to effectively cut rates by requiring banks to hold less capital for the treasury bonds they own. That frees up more cash, and the more cash that's in people's hands in the marketplace, they buy assets, and they start buying all of these different crypto coins. We're literally looking at a perfect storm. Stock markets are at an all-time high. We haven't even had the tax cut yet, and Trump hasn't really even got warmed up. The tariffs look like they pretty much sorted with all the major countries, and we're on par for just new highs, new highs, new highs. We know that, like I said, the Fed chairman, Powell, is out in May of next year. And look, I don't want to wait 11 months. Neither do you, Carson. But the truth is if it's going to change then and go significantly down, the markets are going to start to price that in. Now, we've been amassing altcoin positions for the past 2, 3, 4 years. And my members stand to make hundreds of millions of dollars, possibly even cross the billion mark, if everything kicks off in Q4 and Q1 of next year. I'm going to show you how we're making money and how you can too. And so just stay tuned and pay attention. Before we just want to get started, I just want to say this presentation is not intended to be investment advice. All right. It's for educational purposes only. If you are looking for investment advice, please go find a professional. Is that good with everybody here? Thank you. All right. I also want to give you a free gift, which is actually module 1 of our super premium program called the Investment Club. This is where we have 150 people that have invested basically for the next 10, 20 years of their life. They're creating generational wealth, changing their lives forever. This is called module 1, how do startups raise money on the blockchain? And if you're watching this later, you can go to londonreal.tv/download. But since all of you people are here and your cameras are on, Shay, see, it's always the good looking people like Shay that have their cameras off. You know, it's like, it's crazy how that happens, right? I'm going to start giving an award, Martini, for the best looking person on this broadcast. I mean, it's hard to beat me, but maybe second best, and we can start giving out prizes. But tell you what, I'm going to send you guys module 1 right now on your chat. Okay. So take a look at chat. It's in your, on your Zoom app. If you click down on that bottom button, and I'm going to use the power of Zoom to send you module 1 right now as a PDF. Now, I usually get this right. It's not like, you know, grandpa on the VCR. I'm not that bad. And I used to actually set the VCR for my grandpa back in the day. I don't know if you did that. But here comes this module. Can everybody just reply to me yes if you got the module? It should have popped up in your chat. It's like a 0.5 meg file called London Real, something like that. Did anybody get that? Shay, you got that? You might have to click on the picture of me in order to return a message. Zoom just changed their messaging and it's a mess. Oh, Martini, did I just send it to you only? No. No, did I get it? Martini, did you get it? Okay. All right, let me try it one more time, okay? Julian, any idea why I can't send messages to everybody? Just see here. Hold on one second. I'm gonna try one more time and we'll see if this works. I don't think any of my messages go out. Oh, I think I sent it to Martini. Oh, you got it. Okay. Did anybody else get it? Shay, did you get it? Ash, did you? Emma, you got it. All right. Can you type yes and just send me a message back? Are you guys able to do that? You might have to click my initials BR or the picture of me to send me a message. Maybe it's not working. Nobody can send me a message, so you know, Bales. It just doesn't work, which is weird. Okay. Okay. Well, anyways, try to see if you can send me a message. If not, that's okay. It looks like everybody got it. But yeah, I don't know. Zoom did something. I never get messages from anybody. Oh, Emma, I got one from you. And she likes the red tie. This is orange, Emma. Orange. I know it's hard to tell, right? Right. To the power, pretty soon I'll be able to change my tie as I snap my fingers, right? All right, let's get back into this presentation. Again, that PDF is for you. If you can do me a favor and not look at it while I'm talking, because I'm going to be playing videos, but like that's our gift to you. Check it out later. It's really module 1 of a program that's made my members a ton of money. I also want to give you this, which is a free video. I'll give you the link at the end of this presentation, which is how to find the hottest crypto pre-sale tokens in 3 easy steps. I'll explain what a pre-sale token is, but that is really our unfair advantage. That's how we're making all the money behind the scenes. And I'll give you a link to this for free at the end of the presentation. So stick around for that. Folks, pre-sale tokens is a practice of secretly buying tokens from a CEO before their token goes live on an exchange. It's like getting them before an IPO event. Raise your hand if you heard of an IPO. Shay, you know what's going on, right? Paul knows what an IPO. An IPO is an initial public offering. And back in the day, it used to be when shares of a company would spike, like Facebook and Google, and they all go up because all of a sudden the public can buy shares that before were only allowed by a few billion-dollar VCs. We do the same thing with tokens. So right now, I'm going to show you a deal very soon for a blockchain called OneFootball. We're getting these tokens privately. And when they get listed on an exchange like Bybit or Binance or Coinbase, then all of a sudden millions of people can buy them. And a lot of times the price goes up, sometimes a lot. And that's literally how we're just consistently making money, one after the other. And I'll show you some of those results. By the way, has anyone heard of this token called Solana? Raise your hand. Carson, you look pretty smart. Paul, okay, Emma knows what I'm talking about. Solana is one of the biggest blockchains out there. I think it's the 5th largest by market cap. But did you know you could have bought this token as a pre-sale deal for 4 pennies each? Right now, it trades between $150 and $200 each. If you had got in on the pre-sale and put $1,000, Shay, that one investment of $1,000 would be worth $5 million today. And that shows you the power of pre-sale tokens. Now, who here could use an extra $5 million? Anybody here? Carson's like, no, Brian, more money, more problems. I'm good. Money's the root of all evil, right? Okay, that's fine. I'll save it for Paul. But $5 million could really make a difference for a lot of people. And for us, we like to provide wealth to our members so you can go do something amazing with your life. Folks, this is a ticket we wrote recently. And can everybody see the blue circle here that's circled here? This is actually part of a legal document called the SAFT. It says $200,000. That's the typical ticket we write or the investment we make. Can everybody see this red circle here? Do you see that, Ash and Emil and Shay? Paul does. That's the price we paid per token. That's not $1.25, Paul. That's 1.25 pennies. So we actually bought these cheaper than the Solana tokens. Now, what happened? Well, on the launch date, our token did a 20x in about 4 hours, and my members made a $4 million profit. This company is called Skillful AI. It's artificial intelligence on the blockchain. And this guy here on the left is a guy named Zoltan. Zoltan is the CEO of Skillful AI. And I met him at a conference a year or so ago. He came in to have his own episode on London Real, which is what takes the token even higher as we promote the token to the world. And after the episode, he pulled me aside and said, Brian, this is going to 100x. Hold on to your tokens. Then he said something weird, Shay. He said, Brian, I want to join your investment club. I was like, why? You're one of the top CEOs in the business. You're at the conferences. Surely you see deals that are better than mine. He said, no, your deal flow is better, Brian, because you have a social media platform and a media company with 1 billion views and 5 million followers. You get deals at a cheaper price and you get tokens faster than I could, even as a founder. And so I said, really? Okay. So I said, okay, but you're gonna have to talk to Martini, and she's not going to give you a discount. She doesn't care who you know at London Real. And so I gave him Martini's number. 2 weeks later, he signed up, and now he's doing business with us. And so now you've got one of the founders of one of our portfolio companies in with you on the Zoom calls every week, Monday and Thursday in our investment club. And it's a great source of information. And I think one of the best testimonials to show that this really is something special. Does anyone see that? Think that's kind of cool? Right, Paul? Kind of cool, right? It really surprised me. I didn't expect that to happen. This is another deal we did called Shrapnel. This is a game that's on the blockchain. So if you think of Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty, some of these video games these are multi-billion-dollar video games. Well, they put these games also on the blockchain, and this one's called Shrapnel. It did a 20x in 20 days and made my group a $5 million profit. This is me and the CEO. This is another deal called the Mochaverse, and this is the digital identification play of Animoca Brands. I'm sitting next to Yatsu, who is one of the huge visionaries in blockchain. I believe he's the next Elon Musk. And it's actually the deal I'm going to show you in about 2 or 3 minutes called OneFootball that he actually introduced me to when I was in Toronto 2 months ago at the Consensus Conference. This deal was up 20x, and I think it's going to keep going up because Animoca is such a big player. This was one of our biggest wins so far, 22x, and it's called Story Protocol. We did this alongside one of the biggest venture capital companies in the world called Andreessen Horowitz. These guys are in DC all the time. Mark Andreessen's on the Joe Rogan show all the time, and they're considered some of the smartest money out there. And we invested alongside of them, and there's no surprise that we did really well. This was one of our first meme coins called Cats. It did a 14x on launch. One of our members, Christina, and her mom put 30,000 on this token, and she woke up to a $420,000 profit. Emil, she thought her phone was broken that day, and she said, Brian, something's wrong with my phone. It's broken. We were like, no, it's not broken. And look, 400 grand is not enough to retire on, but it's enough to really start getting your life in the right direction. Anybody agree? Anybody want that? An extra 400K a day is nothing bad. And then, of course, this is the $1 billion fund we invested in. This is the guy called Dan Tapiero. I'm in this deal. Martini's in this deal, about 50 of our members. And he's been buying everything in the digital asset ecosystem. This is his portfolio on the screen. If you look at these companies, you see eToro, which had an IPO a month ago. You see Circle, the stablecoin, which had an IPO a month ago. You see Deribit, which was sold to Coinbase. You see Kraken, which is IPOing very soon. And you see Gemini, which is IPOing very soon. Dan bought all of these companies for pennies on the dollar in October 22 when Bitcoin was at 16,000. And we're already up 4x on a fund that was supposed to do maybe 20% a year max. And we're up 400%. His Circle investment was up 10x at one point. That's crazy because he's not even investing in tokens. And here's Dan down on the New York Stock Exchange recently with Jeremy Allaire of Circle, just celebrating the big win. And so we like to think when we invest with winners, we spend time with winners, we become winners. And that's why I have these people on my show. That's why we invest in them. That's why we've had the success we've had. Folks, this is a special part that I just started doing recently on this presentation where I'm literally going to show you the deals we're investing in right now. All right. We've actually just closed one of our deals out called Narus, which is a post-quantum computing protocol. It's going to protect you from quantum computing breaking all the cryptography and breaking all the codes. I'm actually going to show that deal. But we've literally just kind of closed it as we speak. I know we got a bunch of members that are begging me to get an extra 25 or 50 grand. I don't think we're going to be able to do it, Martini, but I'm trying. But this is a deal called Naris. What you're also going to see is what happens every Monday and Thursday at London Real. And that is our own version of Shark Tank. Has anyone watched that show before? Shark Tank in the past? Paul, you know what I'm talking about, Shay? It's got Mark Cuban and all those other guys on there who don't know how to dress. Well, we have a better version. We do it with crypto CEOs. They come on, they present, and if we like their deal, we invest. And what you're going to see is bits of that call, and you're going to see the CEO present, you're going to see the members of the group, and you're going to see how we make decisions. This is Naris.
I'm blown away, honestly.
The founder is pretty impressive.
This guy knows what he's doing.
This is the kind of protocol that it's worth 100 billion.
We're going to be the top blockchain protocol. We're using post-quantum cryptography for everything. Generation of keys, for wallets, for data movements. We eliminate single points of failure, prepare for quantum threats. We can apply quantum protection on all data. We enhance trust and compliance and can work at nation-state level. We have been in research for about 7 years and created a number of peer-reviewed papers. This is more than proven. And we can do post-quantum RWA assets, post-quantum validations on current chains, and we can apply to any critical environments in the real world.
What do you say to clients who say quantum is never going to happen? It's 20 years out. I got bigger problems now. I don't need you.
Quantum chips are here. They're going to become more and more available. Nation states are spending ridiculous amounts of money on it. This is extremely strategic globally. We are not changing our perspective. We have been advised to do this even 4 or 5 years ago by our NATO advisor generals. So we know we're in the right track. We're just going to carry on.
2 thumbs up if you are a fan of Naris protocol and everything they're doing. So 2 up from Richard, 2 up from Saskia, 2 up from Arno, Daniel, Patrick, Alessandro. That's 100% up, boys.
It seems like something we should be in. I'm glad we have this opportunity. It's amazing.
I think everything is going to be going quantum, and they got high-level partnerships.
It seems very, very high potential for what's coming in the future in this ecosystem.
This is probably one of the best mature projects we've ever seen. The opportunity seems pretty much infinite. They are the perfect people in the right sector doing the right project. These guys are thinking about the future and beyond.
Booyah. We like that. Pretty cool, right? High tech. They got like NATO generals on their board. This token's launching literally probably in the next 10 days. And so you're at a really cool point in this cycle where you could actually invest in a deal and have tokens very soon. Trust me, that wasn't happening in 22 or 23. Martini remembers we were thinking about a year before you got tokens. Now we're literally getting liquid. It's like buying an IPO like a week before it actually goes on the stock exchange. So that's where we're at. The next deal I want to show you is called OneFootball. These guys have 200 million people and they're now going on the blockchain. And so it just, the sky is the limit here. And there's a reason why Animoca is partnering with them, because these guys always go for big plays. And so it's really the user base that's going to bring a lot of value to this token. And we're getting in at an incredible price. This is OneFootball.
And this is just the beginning for OneFootball Club.
They are far, far ahead of other projects we've seen.
That's huge.
It's just big business. And these guys have a massive user base.
What we're building is a composable social graph. Think about your digital identity. Any data that is available about football clubs, you will find it in our app. We have 31 million registered users, owned and operated. The biggest clubs are our shareholders, but we work with pretty much anybody you can imagine. The entire Animoca Brands ecosystem is completely behind this. So the adoption of our token will not just be in our ecosystem.
Do you think that you might expand to American football clubs and Guns N' Roses fan clubs and all that?
For us, being in football and trying to get this and nail this really, really well has made us the biggest football app in the world.
Eric likes it, Petya likes it, Camille likes it, Connie likes it, Jack likes it. I think that's 100%.
They already have a large fan base. And just to put it in perspective, there's about 4 billion people in this world who play soccer, almost 50% of the world's population. So I love what they're doing.
I really liked it from the community side of things. That's a big deal.
It seems like a really good play.
Everybody here felt that these guys are coming more prepared, more plugged in, already a big fan base. If I were to take one play in the sports world, I would take this one.
Booyah. What do you think? Pretty cool, right? It's got a huge base. And so if you can actually just get them onto the blockchain, we think it's really going to pop. Animoca has invested in over 540 deals. They're like a $7 billion company. And when we've invested with them before, I mean, we just make money. And so that's one of the reasons we like that. Folks, what you see there is the format we use, and you all are welcome to join us on one of those calls on a Monday or a Thursday. just message Martini here or send a message to all of you, and you can drop by and just be our guests. It's a great way to get a vibe. You learn a lot. Now, look, when one of these founders presents, maybe some of the terms might go over your head, but if you come to 2 or 3 or 4 of them, you're going to learn so fast. And we find that our new members are ready to make their first deal in 2 or 3 weeks, and then they get smarter and smarter and smarter. I think we have the best deal flow on the planet. We'll literally look at 200 of the hottest deals on the planet this year. The CEOs come to us and they pitch us because they want our media and they want our connections. And that's what makes this whole opportunity really, really special. Let me jump back in here. A lot of people are asking, how does London Real pick so many winners? And we thought about it because at this point, it can't be luck anymore. There's really a method. After 10, 20, 30, 40 wins, there's something going on here. And we believe that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. We've been doing this for over 4 years, graduated thousands of students from our academies. We've seen pitches from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of deals. We built an amazing network and incredible reputation as well. Now, look, a lot of you have probably felt like Drake on the top. You've invested in crypto on your own and you've had a hard time. Who here has lost money in crypto? Raise your hand if you have. Come on, be honest. Keep your hands down if you're lying to me. Ash and Emil, Shay, how dare you? I mean, look, I think we've all lost money in crypto. It's a jungle out there. You don't know who to trust. You buy some random coin that some random person says on X with a fake name and a fake picture. And what do you think is going to happen? And then people quit crypto because they say it's not for me. It kills me when that happens because crypto is not just about tokens that go up and down. It's a shift in paradigm. It's a different way of organizing humanity. It's the internet of ownership. And that's why there's another way. And I want you all to be involved in the future. We're seeing it this year, folks. Robinhood, you know, the stock trading platform that the kids use on apps on their phone is putting everything on the blockchain. They just announced from their retreat in France, they're going to tokenize all of the equities and offer them on a blockchain because they see that as the future. You can actually buy OpenAI and SpaceX shares right now on the blockchain from Robinhood. And so this is the future, folks. The Stablecoin Act is passing. Bank of America is going to launch their own stablecoin. Amazon's going to launch their own stablecoin. Walmart's going to launch their own stablecoin. It's all happening. And so look, if you want to do it a different way, you can be like Drake on the bottom with a big smile. You can come invest alongside of us and come in for the big win. Folks, it's called the Investment Club. This is the greatest thing that we've ever really created here at London Real in our 14-year history. This has been around for 4 years. And if you've been struggling your whole life to get ahead, if you've been living paycheck to paycheck at any point, if money stresses you out and you don't know how to get out of the rat race in that cycle, you realize the schools teach us to be poor. You know, saving your money is what fools do, but you can never really break out and get enough wealth to where you can do what you want to do with your life and find your purpose. Well, we've solved the problem. And so that's what we're doing here. And if you want to come in for that win and figure out how we do that, then come along. It's called the Investment Club, and we'd love to welcome you in. It's this incredible program. It's a lifetime membership, and it's where 150 of our London Real family is taking it to the next level. Again, only London Realers are invited to this, and we have a vetting process if you want to get in. And that's because the only way to join is really to book a call with Martini. It's her call. And here are 4 different ways where you can actually book a call with her to find out if this is the right fit for you. We've got people in, 25 countries around the world. We've got people with no high school education. We've got people with PhDs. We've got people worth $100 million. And we've got people worth $100,000. We've got people that are as young as 23. We've got people who are as old as 83. They're all London Realers, and they're all creating wealth and opportunity. And that's what makes this special. And so click on one of these links and book a call with Martini if you want to have this conversation. But only do this if you're serious about joining. She's extremely busy talking to people all around the world that want to join this club now. But definitely do that. I want to say one thing. What makes us different than a lot of the programs out there that are talking about how to get rich in crypto is that for us, getting wealthy is not the end goal. That's a fool's game. For us, wealth gives you the breathing room so you can now find your purpose and create something amazing for humanity and give it back to the world. Does that make sense to everybody here? All right. If you're here just to make a bunch of money, go somewhere else because I'm not going to help you. What I want to do is give you the wealth so you can then do something important with your life. Money is not the end goal. And quite frankly, money won't buy you happiness. But if you have the space in your life to go and create and make yourself unique, that can buy happiness. And of course, money makes that easier. And that's what we want to give you. Folks, we also have a 4-week course, 4 modules. It's invitation only, and that's called my Crypto and DeFi Academy. I teach it personally, and it's how you can be part of the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history. It's actually got 8 hours of live calls with me. You get access to our online e-learning platform. You've got something called my triple tiered accountability system, so you do the work. We got dedicated coaches and team leaders, and we even got a private group so you can post assignments. We have 4 weeks of the program. The first week talks about the history of Bitcoin. The second week shows you how to set up centralized exchanges, hot wallets, cold wallets, and do your first DeFi trade. Week 3 does more complicated decentralized finance trades, and week 4 tells you how to position the book, trade, and create wealth. We've got this kicking off, and if you're on this call, you're pre-approved. You can go to londonreal.tv/buy for a discounted price. We're starting our next class up. I think you can still join this week, actually. So jump on that if you want a quick education on what goes on out there. And of course, the investment club, if you want to really invest and create that generational wealth. And of course, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this. This is my 8-step trading checklist. Please follow these steps before you ever make a crypto trade or any trade. I worked on Wall Street for 15 years. I actually worked on Wall Street, then Chicago, then London, Tokyo, at some of the biggest banks in the business. And I learned a thing or two about trading. And so please, this is our gift to you. Use this before you make any transactions. Folks, this is the news. Trillions and trillions is what's on the line here. And Bitcoin's braced for this huge July as Trump and the Fed are creating this perfect price storm. What are we talking about? Well, David Sachs, which is the crypto czar, who actually has an affiliation with Andreessen Horowitz, which we invested with recently, said it's going to be a big month because he's expecting the Genius Act to be signed, which is the Stablecoin Act, but he's also expecting what's known as the Market Structure Clarity Act, which is basically going to make all of decentralized finance legal, going through the Senate and the House. These 2 bills alone, not to mention the million Bitcoin reserve, are what's going to really put July on the map. And I think we will easily see new crypto highs. Bitcoin will break through 112 for sure this month. And I think all the other cryptos will as well. Of course, Donald Trump recently posted this, that he was just waiting to sign the Genius Act. He said the House will hopefully move lightning fast and pass a clean Genius Act. Get it to my desk ASAP. No delays, no add-ons. This is American brilliance at its best. And we are going to show the world how to win with digital assets like never before. This is from the mouth of our president, folks. I can't see of anything that's more incredible than this. To have a sitting president promoting crypto is really where we want. And it just shows you how far we're going to go with this administration. Of course, Trump confirms massive crypto price game changer as trillions are predicted to hit the Bitcoin market. It's moving higher. And of course, Trump's Bitcoin push sparks this global race for digital currency control. Every country now wants in on this. And of course, Standard Chartered Bank now thinks Bitcoin is poised to hit $500,000 each. That's a 5x from where we are today. And of course, this is me with Jeremy Allaire, the CEO of Circle. And here he is down at the New York Stock Exchange last week celebrating a massive IPO. And we were just really happy to have Jeremy on the show. Early on, we pretty much have all the big players in crypto on our show. And of course, we know that now nation states are adopting. And so you've got China and the UK and Britain and Russia all buying Bitcoin because they know it's of strategic importance, right? The next battle is going to be in cyberspace. And the only way to control it is to own Bitcoin. Now, I spent a lot of time in Dubai in the Middle East. I was there for 6 months this year. I'll be back in January. And I hang out with people like this. And these guys are now buying Bitcoin with their sovereign wealth funds. In fact, Abu Dhabi just confirmed $500 million. And now I think it's $1 billion. And they're buying more and more and more on their sovereign wealth funds. And of course, now we're expecting a new wave or a $15 trillion earthquake that's headed straight for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and more. Do not sleep on this, folks. You're going to wake up one day and it's going to be too late. You're going to wake up to 150K Bitcoin, 200K Bitcoin, and you kick yourself that you didn't do something with us earlier. And a lot of you know, I ran to be mayor of London last year on a pro-crypto, pro-freedom of speech agenda. I wanted all the voting to be on the blockchain. I wanted the budget of London to be on the blockchain. And I wanted to create the London coin. I was going to put 100 pounds of crypto in the wallet of every man, woman, and child, give them the financial education. They weren't ready for me, Shay. So they got Mr. Khan for another 4 years. And so I'm just going to make all of you rich instead. Does that sound good, Emil? Emma's with me, right? Kate, you with me? Ash is in on that. Good. Good payback, right? Folks, this is me in Dubai at our brand new studio there. This is Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni, runs the Dubai Blockchain Center. He's a huge connector in crypto. This is Uni Wong. She's one of the big influencers out there, can literally move markets with her recommendations. This is Carl Moon. He was working as a grocery store clerk in Sweden 7 years ago, and now he's a Bitcoin billionaire. So don't tell me you can't do it, Paul. Don't tell me you're too late, Emil. I'd say you are all further along than these guys. This is Chris MM Crypto. He was driving a taxi in Germany 7 years ago. Now he's a Bitcoin billionaire. So don't tell me you're too late, Ash or Emma or Shay. All of you can do this. All it takes is action. Right now, we're currently investing over $5 million into 15 different blockchain and AI deals this quarter. Folks, we're very active. We know everything that's going on. And I think our deal flow is better than some of the billion-dollar funds out there. And it's all because of this. This is London Real Ventures. This is what brings us the deal flow. It's the world's first media-powered investment firm. No one's ever done this before. And taken a media company like London Real with a 14-year history, 1 billion views, 5 million subscribers, and combined it with a venture capital company with $25 million in capital. When you put it together, magic happens. And that's what we've been doing, making magic. And I'm telling you, what's magic is our portfolio. This is beautiful. What you see here is the best of the best, the creme de la creme of Web3. Each one of these companies with the potential to become a $2 billion, $5 billion, or $10 billion protocol. Some of these have already become multi-billion-dollar protocols since we've owned them. And what you'll see here, Shay, is artificial intelligence on the blockchain, decentralized finance, games, infrastructure, you name it. We've got a whole diversified portfolio. We've actually just celebrated a milestone and crossed $21 million invested in over 100 different blockchain AI deals. We are bigger than most crypto funds at this point, and we're better because we got more connections and more media than they ever dreamed of. And one of the reasons we're successful is because we invest with these companies. These are the biggest in the business. Names you've heard of like Coinbase Ventures, Warner Brothers Music, Andreessen Horowitz, ARK Invest, Galaxy Digital. And of course, we recently were awarded the Venture Capital KOL of the Year. KOL stands for Key Opinion Leader. And it was nice. I was in Singapore. I accepted this award. And it's nice to be recognized by the whole industry for being the best at what we do. I also received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Global Family Office Summit in Dubai for our contributions for media and investment. And of course, we always like to represent in the crypto community. And so I couldn't help myself, Martini. I had to get in the ring for Crypto Fight Night a few weeks ago and try to teach these young crypto kids some manners, right, Shay? You know, these kids these days, they need to, taught some manners. He pushed me in weigh-ins. He shoved me across the room in the weigh-ins. And hopefully we got the rematch coming in Singapore soon. But we really like to represent. And the more attention we get, the more deals I can get you that'll make you millions of dollars. Folks, we believe the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. How many people here like to live their life their way? Just go out and make things happen. I'm looking for people like you. If your hands aren't up, get off my call, right? I only want people that want to help me change the future. I'm looking for a few people, 1 or 2 new people to join us on this adventure. But if you like to stick your head in the sand, if you like to complain, if you like to be pessimistic, this is not for you. We changed the world in 2020 by fighting against big tech and by pushing our messages out there. We fought against trillion-dollar technology companies and won. And we're going to do it here as well. And you can come along for the big win and the big payout, or you can keep doing what you're doing. I mean, how's your program working out for you? Are you saving your money in a bank? Are you trusting your bankers? Are you going to wait for your pension at 60, 70 years old? Do you really think that's going to work? It's not going to work. All of your money is going to be worthless. Cash is trash. Your bank's printed at will, right? It's going to be like the Zimbabwe dollar one day. And unless you own digital assets, you actually have no financial freedom. And that's why we're doing this. And folks, it all comes down to our value system here at London Real. This is our mission statement that's literally on the wall in the back of our building here at World Headquarters. We're here to create a mass scale transformation of humanity into a fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. We want to give you your power back, unlike big tech and big food and big pharma. We want to make you more conscious, and we want to all cooperate for the win. And that's one of the reasons that we attract so many great founders. But all of you know from me, it's not just business, it's personal, because I got these 2 fellas to look out for. And I'm worried about their future. And my job as a father is to protect and provide. And that means I better have enough Bitcoin. And that means I better do my best to make sure AI is not going to ruin the world. And these federal governments aren't going to print more money. And these banks aren't going to censor our transactions. Right, Emil? Right, Shay? And so I got to look out for these boys. And you know what that means, quite frankly? It means, Paul, that I got to take risk today. I can't sit back on my laurels and play it safe and play it easy. I don't know. Maybe I'll wait until next year. That's not going to pay the bills. You know, if I really want to create wealth and opportunity for these boys, Papa has to take risks every day. I got to go into my fears. I got to take chances. And look, I understand crypto is a scary space. Probably joining our investment club is even scarier. But the problem is if you take no action, you will get no results. And this world is moving fast. I think in 2 or 3 years, AI is going to make most of all of you irrelevant and useless. And if you don't start creating some wealth now, you're going to be out there holding the bag. And trust me, nobody cares. And you better start amassing some digital assets if you want to make it through. And it's going to get real crazy real soon. And so that's why we're doing what we're doing. And I don't think you have a data waste here. I know I don't. And so every time something gets hard around here, I just think about why I'm doing this. And I don't know, I assume that everybody here has people you're looking out for. Raise your hands if you've got family or friends or a community you're looking out for. Nobody here, huh? You're all bachelors, Ash does. Well, look, even if you don't, your parents aren't getting any younger. People will depend on you. And I don't know about you, but I'm not giving my people excuses 5, 10 years from now when they come to me and say, well, where's our Bitcoin? Where's our digital assets? Where's our freedom? I'm not going to say, well, I don't know. I was too busy and I didn't have enough money. I don't know. I'm not going to do that. Folks, this is Michael Saylor, and he believes that Bitcoin is the apex property of the human race. Michael has become a friend. He's been a guest on the show twice. He graduated from MIT about 3 or 4 years before I did. And at MIT, they taught us how to think for ourselves. And in 2020, he saw the government printing money. He saw us all locked down in a pandemic. And the stock market was up 33%. Do you remember that, Shay? And Michael said, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense. My cash on my balance sheet is trash. I better start doing something different with it. So he started buying Bitcoin. He now owns $60 billion of Bitcoin. He's going to buy another 40 billion and he's buying it every single day. He believes each Bitcoin is going to $13 million each. That's 130x from today. He believes that AIs and ETFs are going to power a decade-long gold rush. Now, I run a crypto and DeFi academy. Again, some of you might want to join. And people always ask me, Brian, how do I learn about crypto? What website do I go to get news? I'm like, you don't need news. Go listen to someone like Michael Saylor for 10 or 20 hours. That's how you learn about the blockchain. And so I'm going to give you your first 2 minutes with Michael Saylor. This is an excerpt from him sitting down with me recently. Listen carefully to what he says.
We went from investing 250 million in Bitcoin to 425 million in Bitcoin to eventually $1 billion in Bitcoin to $2 billion in Bitcoin to just slightly less than $4 billion.
You said there are decades when nothing happens and there are weeks when Bitcoin happens.
So every decade there's some profound paradigm shift. It's such an out of the blue idea that no one can conceive of why you would even want it. What you've got is a lot of people questioning all their premises, and rising through that chaos is a new idea. What if I can encrypt energy? What if I can encrypt money such that nobody on earth, no government can debase it, no corporation can steal it? I don't trust anybody. I'm going to create a shared immutable ledger, incorruptible, immortal, transcendental ledger. If I can transfer $1 million of value from me to you without an intermediary, that means I have transcended the political realm.
You said, Brian, I like Bitcoin because it has low aspirations.
The idea of Bitcoin was, how do I create a protocol that's fair and equitable that I give as a gift to the world that no one can control? If you're going to do it and you understand thermodynamics, and if you have any sense of genetics or biology or physics, you realize you need to be very humble in your aspirations. How do we give the gift of property rights, freedom, and sovereignty and empowerment to everybody on the planet? The best idea 30 years ago was YouTube or Google Maps, Twitter or Facebook or email. I think the best idea for the next 30 years is digital energy. Everybody can own their stuff and nobody can take it away from them.
We like Michael. You feeling him, Emil? Nash? Yeah, he's amazing. He's really incredible. Definitely one to watch. And I love listening to Michael. I listen to all his stuff. He's constantly developing his thoughts as well. Takeaways from Michael is this. Number one, crypto is encrypted energy. It's like walking around with a pocket full of energy. Try to get your head around that. No government can debase it. No corporation can steal it because crypto actually transcends money. It's better than we've ever experienced money before. And that's why it's the future. Folks, it wasn't obvious. 2025 is the year of crypto. You missed half of it. You're about to miss the whole damn thing. I can't tell you how important it is to take action here. There will be no do-overs. Some people want to wait until 2030 for the next bull run, but by then, BlackRock's going to run this whole show. It's going to be too late. This is it. You really want to jump in on this now. So where and how do we invest? Well, first of all, you got to find the hottest trend, and I will share with you our investment thesis shortly, but there's more. You need something you can never find on your own. I know you'll never find this on your own, and that is deal flow. Deal flow is the hardest thing to find because the difference, Shay, between the top 1% of the deals and the top 0.01% deals are the difference between you losing all your money and making 100x. And so my job is to find those deals, the very, very best of the best. And that's why I constantly travel the world building the relationships that can bring you the deals that'll change your life forever. And here I am in Dubai many years ago, one of my first visits, hanging out with crypto influencers, members of government, venture capitalists, and influencers. From here, I was in Paris, sitting down to a very private dinner with some of the biggest VCs and some of the hottest projects. I'm doing media, shooting documentaries, more influencers, more venture capital. From here, I'm back to London. I went to the Token 2049 conference. I sat down with Yatsu of Animoca Brands in the studio. And then from there, I'm off to Austin, Texas. This is the Consensus Conference, hanging out with celebrities like William Shatner and Alex Jones, more crypto VCs and players. In the bottom right-hand corner was me meeting 14 members of our investment club. Can everybody see that picture down there? Everybody having so much fun. Can we see that? Why are they having so much fun, Shay? Paul, why are they having so much fun? Because they're making so much money, right? It's only one of the reasons. You know, we love hanging out with each other, and it's a lifetime membership to the club. So we're making friends, making money, changing the world. What's not to like, right? Of course, from there, I was in Singapore. I'll be there in October as well, hopefully in the ring as well. And here I'm changing my suit color every day or so, right, Emma? You like those? What's your favorite suit color, Emma? Send me a message. And doing media as well, and just trying to get attention. You know, I think the more attention I can get, the better deals I can bring to you. And if that means putting on a colored suit, then I'll do it. That, or my mom didn't give me enough attention. Maybe that's it, right, Shay? Either way, hopefully it brings you more money and more deals. From here, I was in Toronto recently at the Consensus Conference there. And you can see me hanging out with Yat and a few other big players. And on the bottom right, you can see more of those crazy investment club members. We love hanging out with each other. We're 150 strong right now. And we really are a force to be reckoned with. And of course, I usually always make it back up in Dubai. There's me and CZ, who I think is worth a couple $100 billion right now. And I'm on stage interviewing people, premiering films, and just making more connections. This is what I do, folks, to bring you the deals that'll change your life. How do you win in this space? You have to invest with the best. What does that mean? Well, this is a snapshot of the number of deals we'll look at every single week. We'll filter these down into the top 2, 3, 4 deals, and those are the CEOs that come on the Mondays and Thursdays to present to you. It's an incredible way to learn, incredible way to take everything to the next level. But you've also got to understand the financial tools. And I would say probably Shay, Emil, Paul, Emma, you don't even understand these tools. And that's why you're probably never going to make any real money in crypto, because you're going to go buy some token on some exchange you heard about somewhere, and then hope. Well, hope is not a strategy, to quote Jeff Bezos, and he recently married, of course. Again, you know, Martini, why are they hating on him? He spent $50 million on a wedding. I mean, that's nothing, right? I thought that the couple looked amazing, you know, and hope is not a strategy, right? We believe in betting on sure things. There's a method to our madness. And so first of all, this is our strategy. We believe that early stage Web3, metaverse, and artificial intelligence investments represent the hottest opportunity on the planet. Why? Number one, you buy at super low valuations. Number two, you see the biggest gains possible. Number three, you invest in what I'm calling the biggest dislocation of wealth in human history. Yes, it's high risk, but the reward is even higher. And it's all done through this practice of pre-sale tokens. No one's teaching this, and no one's giving access to the deal flow like we are. Nobody. And this is our way of making money. We don't do it any other way. We don't time the markets because that doesn't really work. We don't day trade because that doesn't really work. What we do is we found an unfair advantage, and we work our media platform to give you access to these deals. Let's talk about pre-sale tokens. How many people here have heard of Solana? By the way, raise your hand. Paul, you probably heard of that. Shay, you probably know. Amos seems to be the smartest one here. Okay. Well, this is one of the biggest blockchains out there. But you could have bought this for pennies on the dollar as a pre-sale token. Can everyone see the red circle here? Raise your hand if you see that. April 5th, these were sold as pre-sale tokens. Can everyone see the blue circle? That's the price, 4 pennies each. This is all on the blockchain. It's public information. You can look it up, but it's hard to find because they don't want you to know this. Because why would you pay $200 for one of these tokens if you could have bought it for 4 pennies? What happened? Well, you know what happened. $1,000 invested will be worth $5 million today. Folks, that's real money. I worked on Wall Street starting in 1993. I've traded stocks, bonds, commodities, equities all over the world. I've never seen anything that can take $1,000 and turn it into 5 million. I just can't. And also, I've never seen anything that can be owned by anybody in the world that can kind of create those returns. And for me, money equals freedom. How many people here want more freedom in their life? Raise your hand. Anybody here? Paul does, Emma does, Emil does. I'm with you, brother. You know, I think we all want more freedom. That's what we want. And that's why I want to give you this money. Because I think with the freedom, you're going to be able to design your life and do something amazing. And that's our job here in the investment club. We want to make my members wealthy so they can start living their lives on their own terms, you know? And it's none of my business what you want to do with your money, Paul. Maybe you want to quit your job. Maybe you want to start your own business. Maybe you want to give it to charity. Maybe you want to put your grandkids through college. That's fine. You know, that's your choice. I just want to give you the freedom to start making choices. Has anybody here ever lived paycheck to paycheck or been stressed out about money in your life? Anyone been there? You kidding me? That was like me up till I was 30 years old. You know, American Express had a hitman looking for me. I kid you not. They used to ring my doorbell, Martini, and I would like hide in the back room because it was a debt collector. So they used to call my dad. I was like 28 years old and they called my dad and he would call me and be like, really, Brian? Really? I'd be like, God, Jesus, American Express. I've been there and it's not fun. It's stressful. And I don't wish it on anybody. And we're here to solve that problem for you. Now, real quick question. Did anybody buy Solana for 4 pennies each? Just tell me if you did. Not a single hand up. Why? Think about it, Ash. Why didn't you? Emil, why didn't you? If you zoom way out, I can tell you why. Because you didn't know someone like me. If you had access to it, someone like Brian Rose, then you could have got a text message from me on the morning of the deal and said, hey, Shay, I got this deal. Do you want to put $1,000 into Solana? Who would have liked to receive a text message like that on the morning? You don't have to do anything with it. It just shows up on your phone. It's your option. Well, it's not a theoretical thing because I literally sent my members a text message today on Telegram, and I've got my investment club group here on Telegram. And literally that's the one football deal I just posted. You click on the link in 30 seconds, you invest. So literally my job is to send those text messages to my members every single day. You could get those messages. By the way, I don't invest people's money. I think that's an insult. You make the choice. I educate you and you make the decision. You can invest as little as $5,000. You can invest as much as $50,000 a deal. I got people that do both. You can skip the deal and say, no, thanks, Brian. I don't like football. Leave me alone. Fine. It's up to you. My job is just to give you the option. I want to give you the right information at the right time. And that reminds me of one of my favorite movies. It's called Wall Street. And there's a point where the main character, Gordon Gekko, says, the most valuable commodity I know of is information. Think about that, right? Think about that, Emil. He didn't say it was a stock or a bond or a bar of gold. He knew that the right information at the right time is how you make billions of dollars. How many people agree with Gordon? Information is the most valuable commodity. My job is to get you that info every morning on text message and to give you the hottest deals that can change your life forever. Folks, if you want to create that generational wealth, you have to pull the trigger. And quite frankly, none of you are doing that. You're too scared. You're scared of the unknown. And in this case, it's like, I don't know what a pre-sale token is. I don't feel comfortable. Crypto, it seems confusing. And until you pull the trigger, you won't realize how easy this is. Once people get in my investment club and they do their first deal, they do their next 10 deals. We got Petia in the group. She's done 63, she's probably done 65 deals at this point, Martini, right? These people get in there, but until you do one deal, you're always going to live in fear, right? I had my first boxing match 6 weeks ago. Before that, the concept of a boxing match would terrify me, okay? Terrify me. It would keep me up at night. You know what I mean, Shay? Especially when you're 54 years old, okay? But once I did it, now I realized there's actually nothing scary about it. It was easier than most of my sparring sessions. Why was it such a big deal? Because it was new. Now I can't wait to do another one. And so the same is true about these deals. You got to pull the trigger and do one, and then you'll see the promised land is on the other side. Now, a lot of you are just waiting, and you don't even know why you're waiting. And I love to play this video because it's going to remind a lot of you of actually what you're like. And sometimes you don't even know why you're waiting. You think you come up with these excuses, but you have these amazing opportunities right in front of you, and you just keep letting them go by. And sometimes you look at yourself and you're like, what's wrong with me? Am I just an idiot? And this is you sitting there watching this beautiful meal go by. No, not that one. No, not that one. No, I don't have the time. No, I don't have the money. No, I'm tired. No, I'm sick. No, maybe next year. Oh, maybe I'll do it when I retire. Oh, maybe I'll check first and research it. And then someone like me comes in and says, I'll take one of those 20Xs right there. Thank you very much. What's the difference between those two lions? What's the difference, Paul? One went for it. That's it. They're both capable of it. Just one let fear succumb them, or excuses or procrastination, and one just grabbed it. Which one do you want to be? You know, life isn't getting any longer at this point. And so what are you waiting for? And this is our portfolio. If you're willing to go out there and take a big bite, then you're going to get these beautiful companies like this. And it's all because of London Real Ventures. This is the structure that brings the CEOs here and gives you access to deals that you would normally need $1 billion fund to play with. And it's all comes down to what I call my quadruple threat. This is what brings the CEOs to the table. Number one is production. They come here to London, they sit down with me, 6-camera, high definition interview. They get a beautiful piece of media. Number two is distribution. I put it in front of 5 million people, all potential customers. Number three is connection. I connect them with the thousands of people that we know in this space. And number four is expansion. I write them a $200,000 check. I'm telling you, Shay, there's not a CEO on the planet that can say no to this. Not a single one. The deal is too sweet, which means we see the best deals on the planet and I can give them to you. We turn deals down all the time. You should see how many messages I have on Martini on Telegram. These CEOs that came on our calls are begging us to invest. I'm just like, sorry, we can't right now. We're looking at the best deals right now. And that is one of the reasons we've been so successful, and we can make you successful. Folks, there's one last piece here. And if you're easily offended, I would recommend you leave the call, because I might offend you, because this is probably the thing that's stopping you more than any other thing in your life from creating wealth. And that is, you're not surrounding yourself with the best people. Most of you have gotten comfortable with 5 people in your life. Now, how many people agree you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with? Raise your hand. Anybody agree with this statement? We all know it's true, right? Paul, Shay knows it, right? How many people are 100% satisfied with the 5 people in your life? 100%, and you wouldn't trade one of them for the world? Not a single person, right? The truth is, Paul and Shay and Emma, is that in that group of 5, we've got, I don't know, sometimes a toxic family member in there. Sometimes it's one of those friends that's going nowhere in their lives. Anybody know friends like that, right? Like your high school friends that are still in high school. You know what I mean? And so the truth is that you've really got to find a way to get yourself around high performance people. And when I look back at my life, my journey from the kid on the left who's 16 years old in San Diego making $6 an hour, to the kid on the top who's graduating from MIT, to the kid on the right who's starting his job on Wall Street in 1993, to the kid on the bottom who's now making millions and millions of bucks. The way I made this transition, Emil, is by getting a better peer group. Now, I won't lie, I was uncomfortable flying from San Diego to Boston. The kids at MIT were very intimidated, and they were all smarter than me, and they made me feel stupid. When I got to Wall Street, they would yell at me, throw phones at me. They would abuse me on that floor. It's not legal these days what they did to me, okay? But they taught me how to make a lot of money. And every one of these steps, I leveled up. I don't even think I knew what I was doing at this point, honestly, Shay. The truth is that most of you have hung out with your same group of 5 people for a long time, and you're wondering why you don't get results. You need to get in the room with billionaires, decabillionaires, centabillionaires. I see this all the time in Dubai. I hang out with all those people. You know who the billionaires want to hang out with, Shay? The decabillionaires. You know who they want to hang out with? The centabillionaires. You know who they want to hang out with? Elon Musk, right? Because they all know that if they continue swimming in their little pond, they're going to get no results. And I would argue that most of you are still hanging out with people that don't believe in your dreams. Let me ask a question. I'll ask you, Shay. What if you said to your friends after this call, guess what? In 2025, I'm going to make 10 million bucks in crypto with Brian Rose of London Real. How many of your friends would look at you a little funny? Raise your hand if you got one or two that would be like, what? Oh no, not the crypto thing again, Shay. Come on, you've been talking about that for years now. And they'll be like, oh no, here goes Ash talking about crypto again. Emma, oh my God, she's probably even drinking again. When's she going to learn, right? These are the people that aren't helping you get to your goals. I want to surround you with people that want you to win, that expect you to win. I want to surround you with people like Marianne Bartels. Now, Marianne's one of the founding members of my investment club. She's a 35-year Wall Street veteran, chief investment officer for Bank of America, Merrill Lynch. She's made her clients tens of billions of dollars. Now, Shay, what do you think Marianne's going to say when you tell her you want to make 10 million in crypto this year? She's going to say, Shay, 10 million. Booby, why are you playing so small? Let's make 100 million. Let's make $1 billion over 10 years. That's chump change for Marianne. Okay. How many more people want to hang out with people like that in your life, right? You say you do, wait until they start pushing you, right? I've had a few mentors that aren't always the most pleasant to be around when they're pushing you. But the truth is that life is short. How much longer did any of us have? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? Maybe less. What are you waiting for? Why not hang out with people like Marianne? She's the next level, and she'll help get you to the next level. This is Tigran. He's one of America's top 100 criminal defense attorneys, one of my founding members. This is your new peer group. Tigran was out in Beverly Hills recently, took Martini out to dinner with a bunch of our members, bought them all flowers. When you're hanging out with Tigran, he's not talking about the ball game. Trust me, Emil. He's not gossiping about the neighbors. He's talking about the next $1 billion idea. This is the guy you want to hang out with. This is Andrew Haynes. He's our expert on Web3, gaming, digital land. You'll get on a Zoom call with this guy. He'll walk you through anything you need to know in our investment club. Here he is graduating from one of the top executive training schools in Switzerland. This is your new peer group. This is Dr. Encore, right? 4 years ago, he was in medicine, took my crypto and DeFi academy, graduated, took our Kings of DeFi course, graduated, was the founding member of the investment club. And now he sources deals for us full time. We hired him. He's one of the best in the business. Folks, you can surround yourself with people like this every single day. I got 146 more of these people, all high performers. This is how you make money, okay? I can give you all the tokens in the world, but if you still hang out with the same group of people, you're not going to get long-term results. And I think all of you know that. Get in the right room. This is our family, folks. These are some snapshots I took behind the scenes. What you see are a bunch of people that just love being together. We really have a family of people that are becoming best friends behind the scenes over the next 10, 20 years. This is an event we did in London recently with one of our portfolio companies. It was amazing. And we just love coming together. I believe your net worth is your network. How many people agree with that statement? You do? Anybody agree with that? Well, if you agree with it, then how are you going to increase your net worth with your current network? You're not going to. I'm giving you one of the only chances, I think, to hack into a high performance peer group. You can't do it on your own. Because quite frankly, why would a billionaire want to hang out with you? They want to level up, not go down. But we can get you access to these people. I believe you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. We teach people how to fish here. And that's why we created the investment club. 4 years ago, we did our first pre-sale token deal. It was called Cross the Ages, one of the hottest gaming companies in blockchain. And I'll be honest with you, Shay, it freaked me out, scared me a little bit. Because here I was on a Zoom call with some stranger. An hour later, he wanted me to send $100,000 in stablecoins to a wallet address I'd never seen. He actually gave me half an hour to do it. I said, what are you, crazy? I haven't even done due diligence. My lawyer hasn't looked at this. He said, honestly, I don't have time for that. You're going to miss this deal. And he was right. And I thought, man, this is a bunch of cowboys. Here I am, Mr. Hotshot Banker, Mr. MIT grad, and I don't even know what I'm doing here. But I could sense this was the way to create massive wealth for my London Real family, people like you. But I also knew that this was the way to make all of you broke and lose every single penny of your money. And so I was caught in a little bit of a conundrum, right? If you do this, you're going to lose on your own. But if you do it with our help, you could have the biggest win of your life. And so I called her Martini and we talk about this in depth. She wasn't sure at first. We agreed this would be the great way forward. And now we've got 150 people that have come alongside of us. It's the greatest product we've ever created in our history, and we're just getting warmed up. Here are the details. It's application only. We open up 10 spaces a quarter and they're always gone. We're oversubscribed. We kept this a secret for a couple of years. Now the word is out. Everyone knows how much money we're making. They see the videos with our CEOs. It's 6 modules, 3 months of coursework. It's a 12-month program, but guess what? It's become a lifetime membership. We do weekly Zoom calls with top CEOs. We're now doing 4 every single week. We have a private Telegram group. You get access to all the deal flow. And if you don't know crypto, no problem. If you've never bought a Bitcoin, we've got you covered. We're going to give you a full year of our Kings of DeFi. We've had people that join this program with no crypto experience, did their first deal in 3 weeks. True story. Next live call Thursday, 7 p.m. We teach this remote. You can be any country in the world. And here's our syllabus. Module 1, I already sent you. What is a crypto pre-sale token? Module 2, what is a SAFT? Who here knows what a SAFT agreement is? Raise your hand. Not a single hand up. You should be embarrassed, honestly. If you don't know what a SAFT is, you're never going to create wealth in this world. The rich use these tools. If you're not willing to go understand these financial tools, you're going to lose. And you can blame anybody you want, but it's ultimately your fault. A SAFT is a simple agreement for future tokens. It's the legal contracts we use to create generational wealth for you. Learn this stuff and the sky's the limit. Module 3, how to identify early winners. I'm going to show you a system of doing due diligence on these companies. It's where you can evaluate these companies in 5 steps. Module 4, how to generate new deal flow. I'm going to show you what conference to go to, what ticket to buy, what to wear, and how you can use QR codes on your phone to scan those deals and get them back to the team in real time. Module 5, how do we nurture these investments? I'm going to show you how we take these companies and build them into multi-billion-dollar protocols. And module 6, what do we do with all the cash? You're going to make so much money, you're not going to know what to do with it. I recommend you spend some of it, you save some of it, and put the rest back into those tokens. Create wealth for your grandkids. This is our Telegram group. This is our Discord group. And here are the details, folks. As I mentioned, we're oversubscribed. Martini's busy 24/7 with people all around the world that want to join this program. Now we're getting a lot of interest in the Middle East. Big surprise. The investment in this program, in the rest of your life, in the mentorship, in the education, in the community, in the deal flow that's never going to go away, and the education is $50,000. That gets you the hottest deals in the world. Now, look, I understand $50,000 is a significant amount of money. I used to make $6 an hour. I get it. But what if that got you unlimited financial return? What if it made you 50 million? Probably the cheapest thing you ever bought in your life. And it's your chance to take part in the greatest wealth creation event in human history. And it's ending now. You will not have time after 25, and I think it's going to be over sooner. And of course, the special investment opportunity, the 2 deals I just showed you are ending right now, and you're going to miss them. This was a deal you missed last quarter. This is a SAFT agreement, by the way. Don't let it intimidate you. That deal was up 466% in 1 day. Why do I show you this deal? I show you this deal because if you had just stopped the procrastination and stopped the excuses and stopped the fear and stopped all the hemming and hawing and the procrastination, which is research in disguise, right? Research is procrastination in disguise, and put 10,000 on this deal, you would have paid for the course for the rest of your life. Imagine the next 10 years of your life hanging out with Marianne and Tigran and Andrew and me and learning from the best in the world. You would get rich by osmosis. I kid you not. You wouldn't even have to invest a dime and you would get wealthier. But you didn't. You came up with a laundry list of things and you missed this opportunity. And at the end of your life, you'll probably meet the version of you that took us up on this opportunity. And that'll probably be a very painful experience. I'm telling you, all are so close, 1 decision away. And you've seen our track record. It's win after win after win, 20x in 20 days, $4 million profit on day 1, 20x on Mochaverse, 22x on Story, 14x on Cats, 4x on our $1 billion fund. And this is the promise I've made to my club. I'm going to create $10 billion for them over the next 10 years. And at this rate, it's probably going to happen in 5, maybe even 4 years. Folks, we have so many members of this club that are amazing people. They have first names and last names, and they have great stories. Each one of them actually recorded video and tells you how amazing their experience is. If you go to londonreal.tv/club, you can watch all these videos, learn more about the program, and you can book a call from Martini there. This is Carol. She says every member is both a learner and an investor. This is Joe, says the window of opportunity is closing quite quickly, and you know he's right. You're about to miss it. This is Jerry. He's just honored to be part of the club, loves the vibe. This is Dr. Yvette. She's a single mom with 4-year-old twins. I mean, what's your excuse? Seriously, you telling me you're busy? Yvette's busy, but she's still done 14 deals. And so you're not busy. You're just in fear of success. You know, how many more of these opportunities do you want to miss? How many more are going to be around? At some point, you just got to get angry and pull the trigger and say, enough of this. I'm tired of these results I'm getting. This is Jens, who says, how can you afford not to join us? I love this question. I think even 6 months from now, you'll look back and you'll kick yourself. This is Petya. She actually couldn't afford the club and she joined anyways. This is a true story. She didn't have the money. She joined and then she went out and found the money. Now, this is where it gets interesting. She paid the $50,000 and then she made 63 investments after that, $5,000 minimum. And Petya doesn't invest the minimum. Think about that. Think about that. She deserves the profit she's going to make because she put herself in an uncomfortable place and she won. And that's what we love to see from our students. This is Chris Roy. He says the deal flow is beyond what I expected. Joining was the best decision I ever made. And I love Chris because Chris is actually a father and son team that we have here. And so his 14-year-old son actually invests alongside Chris of every single deal. So when Chris puts in $4,000, his son puts $1,000 in cash money, and they go ahead on the deals right together. And so I love Chris. We love fathers and sons. We love husbands and wives. We love families, and we really think education is something the whole family should do. And this is what Chris said about the club.
What the London Real Investment Club actually does for you, it gives you the keys to open that door to the inside deals. In the last 3 weeks, I've participated in 3 incredible deals: a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, an incredible AI protocol. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a model like this that just gives average folks the opportunity to be behind the deals. And that's exactly what we've done. Not only that, you get to hang out with Brian Rose every week. And for me, that was huge because I look at Brian as somebody who's not only an expert in the space, and I think is on the leading edge, but just the leading edge of thought with London Real and the work he's doing there. To anyone who's taking a serious look at this, I know it's a big decision. It was a big decision for me and my family, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I wish you all the best and hope you come join us.
We like Chris. We're feeling those vibes in there. Yeah. Look, Chris is amazing. Everybody in the group is amazing. Honestly, like there's no competition in there because we all win together, but these people really want the best for you and they will never second guess you. Folks, it only takes one. Remember, one of these deals can change your life forever. If you don't have one, I don't know what you're doing. Final thoughts. Don't let this year pass you by. You've missed most of it. You're about to miss the rest. You will kick yourself later. Now you can learn early stage investing, and what I teach you, you can use the rest of your life. Remember that tokens you buy on an exchange have limited gains. If you go buy something now on an exchange, someone like me has already taken out 50x. It's too late. You got to go earlier stage. And this is your chance to learn from active elite investors for only $50,000. I know lots of people that run billion-dollar funds. I know Tapiero, I know Scaramucci, I know Moorhead. If you asked to get access to their deals and to learn from them and to sit next to them for the next 5-10 years for a measly 50K, they would laugh you out and throw you out of their office. They wouldn't do it for $500,000. This is a special opportunity. And yes, it's a significant investment, but it has unlimited financial return. And now, thanks to Martini, we've got a payment plan. $10,000 a month for 6 months gets you in. What does that mean? If you have limited capital, $10,000 gets you in. You could put $5K on top of that into Metafied. You could put $5K on top of that into OneFootball, and boom, you're done. Or Naris Protocol, if we get a little extra allocation, and boom, you're going to have tokens in the next 3 weeks. It's really an incredible opportunity, and it gives you the best deal flow in the world. Folks, Warren Buffett said it right, and he was talking about your peer group. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Get in the right room, or you're going to have the same results you've had. What do they say is the definition of insanity, Shay? Repeating the same behavior, expecting the same results. You all are repeating the same peer group, expecting new results. It's ridiculous. If you're hanging out with the same people, you're going to have the same results. This is the way to make it happen, folks, is to book a call with Martini and get on a call with her and find out if this is a good fit, okay? But if you do, just make sure you're serious about this, because we don't like to waste Martini's time. She's super busy. And she's looking to talk to people that want to join this club now, not next week, not next month, but are really serious about joining, and have that conversation. Again, a lot of people think my members are like these billionaires with Harvard degrees. They're not. They're people that are poorer than you, with less education than you and a smaller network than you. But these people have a better relationship with fear than you. And one day they woke up and said, I'm sick and tired of this. I'm in this matrix. They're telling me to put my money in the bank. They're telling me to buy mutual funds. And I can't ever get out of this rat race. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm going to try something else. I've known Brian for 14 years. I know crypto is the way, and I know what I'm doing is not working. So guess what? I'm going to try this. And that's the people we get in our club, and that's the people that we change their lives. Folks, you can also join my Crypto and DeFi Academy. It's 4 weeks, 4 modules, and it'll get you up to speed. Again, I teach this personally, 8 hours of live calls. You get my e-learning platform, you get my triple tiered accountability system, you get dedicated coaches, team leaders, and you get a private group for posting assignments. You're pre-approved for that at londonreal.tv/buy at a discounted price. You can actually jump into that class this week. And of course, here's my 8-step trading checklist, just a gift to you on the way out. Folks, what is your why? For me, it's these guys. And anytime I'm faced with a difficult decision, do I take it easy today or I do something risky and uncomfortable? I choose the latter because I know that if I don't do that, I will not have anything to show for myself and I won't be able to provide and protect. I would recommend you do the same. There's an old phrase that says playing it safe is the most dangerous thing you can do. Does anyone know what that means? Raise your hand. Anybody know what I'm talking about? This was me for a lot of my life. I have an engineering degree from MIT. And one of my mentors used to joke that engineers, we play it too safe because we're taught to make sure the planes don't come out of the sky and the cars don't explode on the motorway. The problem is it makes us too conservative and we don't take enough risk, which means at the end of the day, we're sitting there with our savings account wondering what the hell happened. And you're going to wake up at 70 years old and realize you can't retire. And you look back at your life and think, what was the point of all this? It was just one long, stressful situation. Well, there's people that get out and you see them sometimes and you think, wow, those people don't look any smarter than me because guess what? They're not. All they did was take action when you didn't. Matter of fact, I find sometimes smart people overthink this and they end up really with no opportunities. And so think about the people that depend on you. Think about your loved ones. Think about the future. If you don't take risks today, there is no reward tomorrow, and do it for them. Folks, here's the video I promised, londonreal.tv/bonus. You go there and you can see a little bit of what happens behind the scenes, our gift to you. And remember our next live call, you can join us on a Monday or a Thursday at 7 p.m. Send Martini a message and she can get you in on those, or go to londonreal.tv/club call to see when those are scheduled. Folks, I'd love to answer some questions. Was that helpful to anybody here? Emil, Shay, Ash, Emma, Paul, Bally, Paul, too, and Martini, of course, is here. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate the cameras on. It's all great to see you folks. And so I really love it. Hit me up with any questions in the chat. And I can also see that we have Martini here, which is sometimes rare because sometimes she's actually on live calls trying to get people to the answers they need to join us. And Martini, would love to get your thoughts.
Yes, well, definitely good call today, Brian. It was good to see everybody here who is on the line, and hopefully you were able to take away some major gems that Brian dropped today, and also just taking a look at the options that you have available to you in investing in these early stage companies that are here to change the world. So if that's your jam and you are looking into investing alongside us and joining us in the investment club, I put some links inside of the chat below. The very first link is for you to go ahead and check out the investment club page, and that's going to give you rundown detail of what the investment club is all about, where we see ourselves going shoulder to shoulder together for the next 10 years, and also taking a look at the caliber of companies that we have invested in since the day we started the investment club. What I recommend doing is jotting down a few notes and a few questions, so by the time you do get on the line with me, the call will definitely run a lot smoother. So when you are ready to join us and you just need to have a few questions answered, the next step is to go ahead and schedule a call with me, and that's the next link that's in the inside of the chat. But as Brian says, I only want to talk to people who are serious, and serious means you've done your homework, you've been on a couple of our calls, and you're ready to join us. If you don't see a time that's available on my calendar, please be sure to go ahead and send me a private message on Facebook Messenger. That's always the fastest way to get me. Or you can send me an email at martini@londonreal.tv and let me know who you are, where you're from, and the best time to get a hold of you within your time zone, and we'll definitely make it work. And of course, the last thing there is I know that Brian definitely did a great job of explaining what the investment club is here on the call, but we want you to experience us in real time. So the very last link inside of the chat there is for you to join in on one of our actual investment club calls that we host every Mondays and Thursdays with live CEOs pitching their company. And you'll get to see how our amazing community, over 150 people from all over the world, come together and decide on whether or not we're going to invest in these deals. So please be sure to understand that there are options for you. There are different ways to creating generational wealth instead of just working yourself to the bone. You know, a lot of the time, having a community there to support you in your decision-making process and investing alongside people who are there to invest shoulder to shoulder with you makes all the world of a difference. So we hope to see you on the inside soon, and back to you, Brian.
All right, great stuff. Give it up for Martini, everybody making everything happen. She is the one to talk to. She knows it. She's spoken to hundreds and hundreds of people. You know, if you tell her what's going on with you, we can try to figure out if this is the right decision. And honestly, you know, Martini, I think about this opportunity, and I know we're going to be looking back on this years from now, and we'll just think, wow, man, that was the last chance we had, was in 25. You can see every major bank getting in this right now. You see JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock trying to get into this. You see now countries trying to adopt this as their CBDCs. And I think a few years from now, there'll be none of these opportunities left for people like you and me. I think this is the last chance we have. I also believe you don't have financial freedom until you own digital assets. How many people here have money in the bank right now? Like money in a savings account or money in the bank? Anybody? Emil, Shay? You know what? Our hands are up, but you're wrong. You don't actually have money in the bank. The bank has custody of your money, and they'll give it to you if they decide to. And a lot of people get funds held, funds frozen. And this happens for all sorts of reasons. And I fought for freedom of speech in a big way for 2020. But honestly, freedom of speech is a luxury if you don't have financial freedom. If you can't put a roof over your head, buy your next meal, get internet access on your mobile phone, then freedom of speech is a luxury. And a lot of us are one decision away or one, you know, action away from being completely debanked and potentially having your money taken away from you. Or maybe it's printed or taxed or inflated. It's the same thing, really. It's just stealing. They say taxation is theft. Maybe they're right. Owning digital assets is the way that you get away from all that. It's freedom. And it's also a way to unplug from the matrix and create something outside of the system. And trust me, your loved ones will thank you, and your future version of yourself will thank you. And I just hope everybody takes action, because things are changing. Folks, I have sat down with the biggest artificial intelligence experts in the world. And on camera, they tell me one thing, and off camera, they say, you've got 24 to 30 months before we're going to see 40% unemployment, before all of your jobs are replaced, and everyone's going to be scrambling. And so I tell people, you don't have much time to create these digital asset wealth. If you create it, then you're going to have a chance. If you don't, it's going to get real bad. And if you think the wealth gap is bad now, it's going to be pushed to the extreme. A tiny group of extremely wealthy people are going to use AI to dominate 99% of the population. And everything might be good with your life right now. You might be upper middle class. Guess what? You'll be in line with everybody else for the universal basic income check real quick. And I think that's happening. And I just say that to be honest with you. I think time is of the essence. So it's something to think about. Look, I hope you all come by for a call. We got one happening on Thursday. We got one on Monday. Come feel the vibe. It's a lot of fun. Book the call with Martini. But whatever you do, take some action, because this is our future. All right, folks, that's it. Really enjoyed talking to a bunch of you. Thank you for the messages. Thank you for the back and forth here. I'm telling you, book this call with Martini and let's figure something else. And I hope we see you on the inside. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. All right, take care. Bye. The mass scale transformation of humanity, the fully empowered conscious and cooperative species. It's something we live and breathe. We have a mission here. We want to help build the decentralized finance infrastructure of the future. What is your mission? Hey, it's Brian Rose from London Real. How would you like to join my investment club, where I teach you everything you need to know about early stage token and equity investments? Look, right now is one of the greatest times to invest in human history. We've got AI happening. We've got the metaverse that we built on AI, and all of this needs the blockchain, which is what we specialize in here in my investment club. It's a 12-month program 3 months of coursework where I teach you all the basics. I want to talk about how capital isn't enough, and I want to talk about how you can upgrade your arsenal of influence in a variety of ways. I teach you how to do basic due diligence. I teach you how to go to a conference and come back with 10 deals. Just go in, bam, 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 bam. This is super exciting, and we're able to do this here at London Real because I speak with some of the greatest guests on the planet. We have an amazing network, and we also have a structure to actually invest money in these deals. Just as a strategy in your business, just keep it simple, especially the first time you do it, but do it at the same time. I'm telling you, this is an incredible opportunity. I've got the best community in the business right now, 75 people from around the world in over 20 countries that are alongside, all investing together. And you can learn and network with the best in the business. No decision is much worse than a no. Something, action, action, action. The clock is ticking. If you're interested in this, click a link below and set up a call with one of my team. They'll walk you through what's happening, the opportunities, the requirements. But I plan on working with this group for the next 10 years, and we're going to do massive things here. And I hope you are a part of it. Click on the link and let's do this.